Lawrence Oyor and his friends didn't think their 12-hour daily prayers would turn into something that would one day bless millions all over the world. It started with a dream. Lawrence saw what he described as a spiritual battery percentage, and it was low. From that moment, he understood something clearly, that a man can charge himself by praying in the Spirit. So he gathered a few of his friends and they decided to pray for 12 hours every day for 4 days and then round it off with a 36-hour stretch over the weekend. When the prayer meeting started on the set date, there was nothing complicated about it. All they did was speak in tongues, worship, and challenge themselves on the possibilities in God and in the new creation man. As they began, God moved daily among them. By the third day, they got a call from Obafemi Awolowo University. The message they received was that in a meeting there, the spirit of prophecy had come on 3 people, and all of them said the same thing. I, the Lord, am moving in UI. When they heard that, it encouraged them deeply because what they were doing quietly was being confirmed somewhere else. By the 4th day, something else happened. As they prayed, they began to hear singing. Some heard a solo, some heard a duet, and others heard what sounded like a full choir. It wasn't coming from them, and it wasn't from any instrument. It was new to them, and it stirred something deeper. That first week was marked by deep prophetic intercession, sincere worship, and strong words that challenged their understanding of reality. Testimonies started coming in daily, ranging from academic miracles to financial miracles and healings, even for people who were not physically present. The theme that stayed with them was simple: all things are possible. When they finished the first stretch of prayer, the question came up if they should continue the next week, and the answer was immediate. They agreed to go on, not knowing they were already stepping into something much bigger. That weekend, a few of them continued and spent 42 hours waiting on God, from Friday evening to Sunday morning. During that period, some experiences began to confront what they previously understood. There were moments when they would be praying and suddenly see people in the room praying with them, and then those people would disappear. It wasn't just one person seeing it. Others confirmed the same thing. At the time, they didn't fully understand it, but they knew something was happening. As the days went on, their awareness of God's presence kept increasing. Every new day came with a stronger consciousness of His presence. When the second week began, there was more enthusiasm, and the prayers continued with stronger intensity. After one of the night sessions that ended early in the morning, as they were about to leave, a brother who had missed the meeting came and shared an encounter he had. He said he saw Jesus and that Jesus spoke to him about many things, including what was happening on the campus. He said heaven was aware of their prayers and wanted them to continue. He also described how he was taken physically to a room on campus where a couple were involved in immorality. They saw him and reacted, and then he disappeared again. That became one of the early recorded translation experiences, and more of such experiences would follow. That testimony pushed them further. The next night, as they prayed, the spirit of prophecy came again on certain people. One brother's experience stood out because his hands began to burn intensely. He was instructed to impart 3 people, but he didn't understand what was happening and just wanted the heat to stop. He poured sachets of water on his hands and head, but the burning continued until he had imparted all three people. At a point, smoke began to come out from his head. People around saw it clearly, and when some tried to touch him, they felt something like an electric effect. One person touched him and was knocked down immediately and began to prophesy, quoting scriptures he had no prior knowledge of. From that moment, that brother began to see things clearly and rapidly, to the point that he had to rush out to get a notebook to write everything down. He was overwhelmed and kept asking what would become of him. Then came one of the moments that affected everyone. Very early on a Friday morning, while they were listening to a charge on faith, angels appeared in the sky and could be seen. The clouds formed shapes, first like tongues of fire, then like a throne, and later like a crown. As they watched, the power of God came upon them in a way they had never experienced before. It felt like being inside a current of electricity, and for about 45 minutes, the meeting paused as people had individual encounters. After that, they regrouped and went out around 5 a.m. to different halls to speak about Jesus. By the next day, news had spread and more people began to come to see what was happening. Outreaches began, and the results were different from what they had seen before. There were reports of people casting out demons, healings, and clear manifestations. Some students even used their shadows during evangelism and saw demons leave. There were accounts of the blind seeing, the lame walking, and the deaf hearing. There was even a case of a lame goat being healed. In schools, the same atmosphere followed. In one school, a young boy began writing in tongues, others saw visions, and even teachers were affected. In another case, students from a Muslim background came to observe what was happening and ended up getting saved. One young boy who had earlier resisted became so engaged that he began preaching, fasting, and praying continuously, asking how to even stop praying once he started. There were also multiple accounts of translations. People appeared in places they had not physically gone to, ministered, and then returned. One person was thanked for preaching in a school he had not visited physically, but the description matched him completely. Another was climbing stairs with a bucket and suddenly found herself at the top floor without climbing. There were financial miracles. Money appeared in envelopes, alerts came without known sources, and people found money restored after spending it. Academic miracles also happened, including projects being corrected overnight and improvements in results. There were moments where people perceived a fragrance during meetings, and times when the power felt so strong that people reacted physically when they came close to others. Some described it like touching a live wire. There were also instant answers to prayers. What started with a few people became a larger gathering known as UI Praise.